Hey everyone, get ready for an amazing story because a tech billionaire just made history by becoming the first non-professional astronaut to do a spacewalk. Jared Isaacman, hundreds of miles above Earth, took part in an incredible feat of science and engineering, something that can be super risky even for seasoned astronauts. Elon Musk's SpaceX teamed up with Isaacman for the Polaris Dawn mission, a 5-day trip that took them 460 miles above the planet. Sure, there were a few hiccups along the way, like a bulge in the hatch seal and a button that wouldn't respond. But as SpaceX's VP of Build and Flight Reliability, Bill Gerstenmaier, said things could have been a lot worse. "You gotta embrace the suck," said European Space Agency astronaut Luca Parmitano to NPR. And he knows what he's talking about. At some point during a spacewalk, you're gonna be hot, you're gonna be cold, and your hands are definitely gonna hurt, he added. Parmitano's own experience back in 2013 was beyond intense. During a spacewalk, his suit's cooling system malfunctioned, and water started filling up his helmet, creeping up his face in zero gravity. "It covered my eyes, my ears, and even went up my nose," Parmitano recalled. And to make things worse, his radio went out. "I was completely alone, couldn't see, couldn't hear, couldn't talk." Scary, right? But these kinds of spacewalk malfunctions aren't new. Astronauts have been facing similar dangers for years. Back in the 1960s during the Gemini missions, 3 out of 9 spacewalks had to be cut short because of safety and health concerns. Gemini 9 astronaut Gene Cernan had a really tough time during one of his walks. His suit was so stiff that he could barely move, and it started to overheat quickly. He was sweating so much that his visor fogged up, said Emily Margolis from the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. Cernan ended up losing 13 pounds just from all the water weight he lost during that spacewalk. So, how dangerous are spacewalks today? Dr. Jonathan Clark from Baylor College of Medicine, who's also worked with NASA and SpaceX, says about 20% of spacewalks face some sort of issue. Now, here's the big question. Can people with little to no training handle those kinds of problems? Well, Parmitano, with years of training under his belt, managed to retrace his steps back to the airlock purely from memory, even though he couldn't see anything with water filling his helmet. "I don't give myself too much credit for staying calm," he said. "I've been training my whole life to handle risky situations." But here's the thing. While spacewalks are risky, NASA says it's pretty unlikely someone would die during one. Why? Because missions are usually canceled at the first sign of serious technical or health issues. So, if you're thinking about walking in space one day, just remember, it's a wild ride, but with the right prep, you're probably going to be fine.